Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to talk about solving inequalities using addition or subtraction. So what is an equivalent inequality? They are inequalities that have the same solutions. Just like equivalent equations, the only difference again is that we're using inequality symbols. So the addition property of equality, adding the same number to each side of an inequality, produces an equivalent inequality. For example, if we used -3 is less than 2, and then we chose to add 4 to each side. So because we're adding 4 to both, that makes it adding the same value. And now we have 1 is less than 6. This is still true. So that makes them equivalent. If we had -3 is greater than or equal to -10, and then we chose to add 3, we're adding the same thing, so that's the addition property of equality. We get 0 is greater than or equal to -7, which is still true, so it works. We will fill in this algebra part together in class. Let's work on some examples then. Solving these inequalities and graphing the solution. The opposite of subtracting 6 from x is adding 6. So we're adding 6 to both sides. That adds to 0. And -10 plus 6 is -4. So our solution is x is greater than or equal to -4. On my number line, my circle is closed because it's equal to, and greater than is to the right towards positive infinity. For the second one, to get y alone, the opposite of subtracting 1/4 is adding 1/4. These add to 0, so we have y. 1/4 plus 1/4, we already have common denominators, so 1 plus 1 is 2. We reduce that 2/4 to 1/2, because remember, we always want our fractions to be in simplest form. We can leave this like this, or if we like to have the variable on the left side, then we just pick it up and flip it over. We just make sure that the inequality is open to the same value. Over here, the inequality is open to the 1/2, and over here when we rewrote it, it is also open to the 1/2. On our number line, 1/2 is here, halfway in between. It's an open circle because we're not equal to, and less than is shading to the left, less left, which is -infinity. You are going to work on the u-tries for 3 and 4. The subtraction property of equality is just like the addition property of equality. The only difference is we're subtracting rather than adding. So in this instance, if we had -3 is less than or equal to 1, and we subtract 5 from both sides, -3 minus 5 more is -8. 1 minus 5 is -4. -8 is still less than -4. This is true, and because we subtracted 5 from both sides, that's the subtraction property of equality. If we had 7 is greater than negative 20. And then from there, we subtracted 7 from both sides. 7 minus 7 is 0. Negative 20 minus 7 more is negative 27. 0 is still greater than negative 27. That's still true. And because we subtracted 7 from both sides, that makes that the subtraction property of equality. Again, we'll fill in this algebra part when we see you in class. Examples. So for examples on this, we have y plus 8. The opposite of adding 8 is subtracting 8 from both sides. We have y. 8 minus 8 is 0. And then 5 minus 8 is negative 3. So our solution is y is less than or equal to negative 3. We have a closed circle at negative 3 because our inequality is equal to less than, left, less than, left. So we're shading to the left or negative infinity. We have 1.4 plus m. The opposite of a positive 1.4 is to subtract 1.4 from both sides. Negative 8 minus another 1.4 is negative 9.4. Be careful that you're lining up your decimals. That negative 8 is the same as negative 8.0. So we're lining up our place values and our decimals when we're adding those. 1.4 minus 1.4 adds to 0. We're left with m. So this is our solution. Again, if we want our variable on the left side, we can pick it up and rewrite it, just making sure that whatever our inequality is opening up to, which in this case is the m, it opens up to when we flip it over. Oops, that should be 9.4, my apologies. So negative 9.4 is roughly about right here. We have an open circle because our inequality is not equal to. Greater than is to the right, or positive infinity. You're going to work on those last 3 U-tries, and we'll see you tomorrow in class. Have a great rest of your day.